being fat, obese, overweight, whatever you want to say.
Dream team, stick together and make history. Golden Wonderland.
Hey, it's Eden. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I have a kind of a serious video, even though I am appearing like a clown in plain clothing currently. So I want to talk to you guys about the epiphany I had about why I don't think I've ever been that serious about losing weight. Now, it's not to say that I don't love living a healthy lifestyle, because I absolutely do. You guys see how I eat, you guys see how much I love fitness, like literally love fitness. I teach group fitness for the Lord's sake, and for your body and your heart health and all of those sakes. But I talked about how I don't have like this why. Everyone has this why, like they want to be out of pain, or they want to fit into one airplane seat and want to avoid that embarrassment. They want to be around for their kids. They want to lower their A1C. These really soul-tying reasons as to why they want to lose weight. And I don't have that, because I've always been very confident in who I am. I grew up as a competitive cheerleader. I always had a lot of friends. I had no problem pulling the guys because she's fine. I had a great experience being fat, and I know that it's different for everyone, and everyone's body's different too. Like if you didn't grow up, if you were big since childhood like I was, and you didn't grow up in sports, your pain level may be way different than mine. You may not be a person that can hop around and jump up and down, and I'll put some videos of me being me here. You may not be able to do all of that stuff at like my same size, and everyone's experience is so different. But I had read that book, Chasing Cupcakes. I didn't read it. I listened to it on Audible. This is not sponsored by Audible, but I will put a link down below so that you can get it for free if you want to try out Audible for a free month and listen to Chasing Cupcakes. And at the end of the book, she gives this link to her website, and there's like 200 questions to ask yourself when you are talking yourself out of doing things that align with your goals, whether that's financial goals, weight loss goals, and whatever. So I read through the questions, and I was like, that's something that I could implement in my life, like picking out like 10 to 15 of these questions to ask myself when I do want to talk myself out of going to the gym, or I do eat in my maintenance calories for a few weeks because I'm like, oh, this weight loss thing can wait. Because like I said, once I lost my 50 pounds, even in my I lost 50 pounds video, I was like, half of me wants to be like, see you later, I'm fine, I'm happy now, like I feel like myself again. But I am curious what it would be like to be in a smaller body, and I'm a big advocate of like, you don't know what you don't know until you know. And maybe I don't know that I would feel better or lighter or faster on my feet or whatever it is, unless I lost more weight. But after reading that book and hearing her say something along the lines of, you don't realize you're addicted to the attention your problems get you, or you're addicted to having problems because of the attention it gets you. And usually I think that kind of stuff is annoying, but I was like, huh, that actually does kind of resonate, because my problem being fat, obese, overweight, whatever you want to say, it has gotten me attention, and always positive attention. In a way, it's made me feel very special my entire life. I feel like I've always been the outlier of the fat girls, and that feels good. So part of me wonders, like, I know I'll still be me and I'll still be a bad bitch and all that stuff afterwards, but part of me wonders, like, what will make me special then outside of my weight? We're gonna dig a little deeper and we're probably gonna cry. Get your tissues, girls and guys and non-binary friends. So like growing up, I was in cheer at school, and then I joined a competitive squad because my coach decided to start his own competitive team, and I joined that team. And I had to skip one of my practices per day at my regular cheer in order to go to All-Stars. And All-Stars training is so hard. And even in high school, you guys know I was anywhere between 230 to 250 pounds. So I'm at this point like 38 pounds heavier than I was in high school. So not a huge difference. And I remember going back to my regular cheer squad, and we were in our jump lines, which is like single file lines. Everyone does 2 sets of jumps at the front, and then you go to the back, the next person does it. Like you're all jumping at the same time, but like who's at the front changes, and the coach kind of watches your form and everything like that. And I remember doing my jump and the girl behind me going, whoa. And I was like, what? And she's like, your jumps are so high. Like doing a toe touch. Like my jump was like a good foot above everyone else's jump, even though I was much heavier. And she's like, do it again. So like during the next rotation of jumps, she had like 2 other people stop to watch me jump, and they're all like, oh my gosh, can you tumble too? And I'm like, my tumbling's okay, but like I wasn't ever the best tumbling. You guys know I did hurt myself tumbling. That's why I have hip problems now. But my round offs were like so freaking powerful. My bounce at the end was so powerful because of the training in All-Stars. And like that like boosted my ego a lot to have way thinner people looking at me being like, oh my gosh, like you are a powerhouse. And that's really followed me into adulthood, like always having super hot boyfriends and people saying, oh, you know, fat girls don't date, guys don't like fat girls. I've never had that problem, and TBH, most of the guys that I've met have been at the gym. I think they like that contrast of like big muscly and a little squish, you know? So I've always like gotten guys and girls. I've always had really attractive girlfriends and boyfriends, and like that made me feel good, like, cause oh, that sounds so fat phobic and rude, but like I felt like, you know, like I was a hot fat girl. And I remember tweeting like probably when I was 19, like, God made me fat, because if I was skinny and this beautiful, it would be over for you bitches. So like that's always made me feel special. And then even into like YouTube, and do not take this as saying that I am not talented and I am not worthy, because I know all of those things. But when it comes to YouTube, a lot of the opportunities that I have gotten have been because of my weight. So when I lose weight, I know I'll continue to get those opportunities. But in my brain, I think that maybe subconsciously I feel like I won't get as many opportunities because I'm not the plus size yoga instructor anymore. Like I got certified in yoga. That was like really greatly received because I was more representation in the wellness space of people with larger bodies, and I love that. And that gave me the ability to travel and teach other people with larger bodies, and also to be representation of plus size girls doing like balancing poses and more advanced poses beyond the beginner level. So I know that is what kind of have boosted my numbers over time, seeing that ability. And I'm laughing because I'm like, wow, that sounds ableist. I'm just coming off real bad in this video. But you guys know that's not my heart and that's not what I mean. But I feel like that's afforded me a lot of opportunities. And like, I was top 10 yoga teachers in Healthline this year, but that was because they needed a plus size girl, you know? And as much as I would love to think that I'm the best yoga teacher in the world and I'm just so talented, I know that I have a very powerful practice. I know that I hold space that's loving and welcoming for you all. But if I was just another thin yoga teacher teaching on YouTube, there's hundreds, thousands maybe even hundreds of thousands of thin yoga teachers on YouTube, I wouldn't have been mentioned in Elle Australia this year if I was just another one of those thin yoga teachers. Like, I don't feel like that's true. Like, I don't think I would have had that opportunity. And I know that I'm sometimes the diversity pick and I'm sometimes the body representation pick. I'm always like the only plus size one on those lists. And I do think so much of my success has been because I was plus size, and not because I'm a plus size influencer or whatever. It's just because I've always been plus size. So like, but I was always empowered by like my mom and my family to live my life regardless of my size. So I never really had like that complex that I think a lot of fat people have. So I've been able to be outgoing and, you know, really do the things that I wanted to do. But I do wonder, like, if you're just one of everybody else, like, what's next? And I know that's, like I said, I know that's not true, because I know that I'm unique. I know I'm special. I know that I've built relationship with brands that will carry on. I know I've built relationship with you guys that will carry on. But I really do think that that's been like my mental block. My mental block is I like being fat because it makes me feel special, and it makes me feel different, and it makes me feel like the exception amongst a group as well. So that's all I really came here to say today. Short video, way shorter than I thought it was gonna be, but it was like an important revelation for me. Like, you have to get past that. Like, that in itself is insecurity, and I don't really consider myself a person that's not confident or secure in myself, but like, that is insecurity. And like, this life is always evolving in your journey with self-love and acceptance, and self-worth is always going, and it changes over time. So it's like a new kind of self-love and self-affirming journey for me. So that's all I wanted to say today. That was my big aha moment, and I don't really know why I'm sharing it, but maybe it'll help someone. So I will talk to you guys in the next one.